Hello and welcome to Taekwondo Training. I'll be your instructor for today's show, Bob Lemire. On today's show, we're going to do a mixed bag of stuff today. We're going to do some combinations, some different stretches that you can do while you're sitting down, and some more pressure points. I promised I'd show you pressure points, acupressure, not acupuncture, acupressure, to relieve pain throughout your body and help you instead of taking the medication or aspirin, you know. So I'm going to start off just with basic combinations. Something you can work out at home, something you can loosen up the whole body. Let's start with some hands. Now you've already stretched, say 15 minutes. All right, so stretch 15, 20 minutes. Get a good stretch going. It's important to stretch every day if you can. All right, and I say if you can, you can. You can put 5, 10, 15 minutes of stretch in your whole body. It's going to save you a lot of problems as you get older, and even problems now on injuries, just the mobility of your body by stretching. And people don't realize you stretch your body, it stimulates your blood, it stimulates all the fluids in your body so that you heal quicker. All right. Example, years ago, you'd have a major operation. They'd say, leave him in bed for a month, let him heal. And now, within an hour, you're walking after a hip operation. You have to have the body moving. Well, it hurts. My body hurts. Yeah, everybody's body hurts. We know that. It's going to hurt more if you don't stretch or if you don't do any exercises. All right, so that's all up here. You got to remember, get that routine going. We're in a fighting stance. Your hands are up. Remember, fighting stance, just like you're walking. You're walking, nice and relaxed. All right. Your hands are always up here. We're going to do a punch. All right. When we do the punch, all right. Keep those fingers nice and tight, the thumb inside, all right? Not the thumb outside, thumb inside, and just punch. Now see as I'm punching, see my hip? Instead of just going like this and only using my top body, I'm punching. So this is a good hip jog and a good exercise, what I'm going to show you. Punch, look at it. I'm here, snap. Notice my hands are up. My hands aren't down here. Right? They're here, straight. See, it's a straight punch. From here, what I'm going to do is what we call back fist. So from here, I'm going to try to put this hand underneath. It's not mandatory all the time, but to practice the right location, put the hand underneath. Same fist, index finger and the middle finger, I'm going to do a back fist. You're going to be here, see my hip jog, here, then here. See the hip jog? All right? 1, 2 without a hip jog. All right? 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2 with a hip jog. Hip jog will give you 100% more power and speed. All right. After you hit punch here, you're crossing this way, and see how I'll bring this back here? I'll snap and try to make the motion of my left arm and my right arm together. I'm still up here. I can always throw another punch. All right, so that's 1, 2, 1. See my feet? I'm not keeping everything straight and stiff. Everything's loose. Any sport we do, and I say this every week, any sport we do, you have to be loose, every part of your body. You stiffen up, you're slow, you're not moving. All right? If you're supple and you're moving around, and you've got to do stuff like this, you have to be fairly stretched. All right? I always say my age. I won't say my age again tonight. But I'm getting up there. Stretching's harder, and it's longer, and I don't have the complete stretch I used to have as a youngster. But I still have very good stretch. Try to stretch as much as I can. It hurts. But it gets me ready for my workout. If not, your body's tight. Your muscles are like elastics or a taffy, say. You know taffy, when it's cold, you go like this, it snaps. That's your muscles. But if you warm it up, you warm up the taffy, it stretches. Same thing. You try to throw a kick without doing any kind of stretching, you're trying to snap it. All right? Try to remember that. It's easy to remember that. All right? So you're like taffy. All right? You loosen up. You don't snap. And that snap means the muscle, whether it tears or any kind of injury, takes a long time to heal. When all you had to do was warm up 5, 10 minutes. All right? And I know we're always in a rush. I'm always in a rush. Well, but it's mandatory when you're doing Taekwondo or almost any sport. Your football players, you see them limping off after the beginning of the game. And I watch a lot of them, even professional, how they warm up. And it's like they don't want to do it. They're just, because they're great athletes. But that's before a game out in the cold. All of a sudden, they're limping up because they pulled a hamstring or they tore something. Got to stretch. 1, 2, back in 3. That's an easy combination. Right? Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Punch, 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 back fist, punch. You're going to have punch, back fist. You're going to have punch, knife hand. Now, if I'm going to do a regular knife hand, so this is attacking someone to the front. Someone comes to the side. Go back to the front. If I'm doing the knife hand, after my punch, knife hand, remember, fingers all together. Middle finger and index finger. Just a little bend. Thumb pressed very firmly against your side here. All right. When you're going to do that knife hand, see how I put this hand underneath now so that it gives me the right, I'm not just bringing it up. I'm putting it here, all right, all level with my shoulders so that I have a straight line. That straight line is going to be the quickest point from one to another and the speed. And I'm not going up on an angle and losing my power. I'm straight. So it's like 1, 2, all right? Right, 2. 1, 2, back, 3. All right, punch, knife hand, spare finger. You got your knife hand already made, use it for a spare finger. Spare finger, same, make sure those fingers are bent. You're going for the eyes, you're going for the face. You hit someone straight with a spare finger and your fingers are bent, they'll bend a little, but it's going straight into the eye. Pretty gruesome, I know. It's life or death. A lot of these moves are life or death. They're coming after you. It's you or them. So 1, 2, 1, 2, all right? 1, 2. Just like I'm going to do a punch, 3, spare finger to the face. You can do the spare finger to the throat, too. It gets right between your chin and down in your chest, so it goes in. You say, oh, your fingers, they're not too powerful. You're right. And I've seen people breaking boards with them, and I never wanted my students to do that because one wrong move, and you'll break your fingers. All right? And it's not good for longevity with arthritis when you start doing stuff like that. But it can happen. You can break boards with them. But you say, oh, it's not strong. Take your fingers, right? Touch the side of your neck, very lightly. Touch your arm, all right? Touch your face. It don't take much to have power, all right, or to feel the pain. Don't take much. You don't need much power. And if you come in hard, you're doing damage to the eyes. You're doing damage to the throat area, okay? So there's areas we're going to be looking for as we do these spare fingers. And again, it's just like a knife hand. Bend that middle finger, baby finger. Press hard. Now it's strong. If it's not tight, it's loose and wishy-washy, and it's just going to fold as it hits. So tight. It's a spare. They call it a spare for a reason. It's like a spare. All right? A spare. I say spare almost like I'm from New England, Boston, right? Hands up. 1, 2, 3. Front snap. See how I can add these combinations? And I try to get, as I say, always a flow. I'm trying to flow my body to move in directions that are going to be easy to move. And most of the directions is so I get another hip jog. Right? You always hear me say hip jog, and if you've been watching my show, and the show's been going on for many years now, hip jog is something I always point out. And again, any sport, if I tried to play baseball and swing a bat, you can't. You have to, look at it, same thing, Taekwondo, punching, bat. See, when they swing with their whole body in an upward motion or a motion like this, all right? And everything is going the same. Golf. If you golf like this, again, nothing. If you golf, see, It's hard to do a good golf swing without a golf club in my hand. I don't know why, but your hip, all right? Concentrate whenever you're doing any sports, think about it. Where's my hip? Because your hip is going to bring in the power. I'm not going to say it's chi. I'm not going to say it's, I'm not going to get too into a lot of the, the old ways, but they are true, all right? All your power is going to come right from here. There's a lot of power in your arms, right? There's a lot of power in your arms, a lot of power in your legs, but you have to enhance it by getting the swing, all right? So say the punch, which is basic. Punch. Back fist is pretty basic. And when you want to practice these, you can be in a horse riding stance and practice. And notice that nothing is completely straight there. My knife hand's not completely straight. My back fist is not completely straight. My elbow, because you're going to hyperextend your elbow and you're going to hurt yourself. Have that light bend at the end, all right? The light bend at the end, all right? And this is how you practice in the mirror. This is a good breaking technique. A punch, back fist, another punch, and you can get some good speed and power when you do breaks like that. And so any type of combination, you can end up with a small kick, big kick, 1, 2, 3, front snap, 1, 2, 3, front round, all right? 1, 2, 3, inner crescent. Grab all your kicks. Get them so that your back leg flows with your next move, because you're in that position. If you go 1, 2, 3, and then try to pick up your opposite leg, you're not flowing right. You can do it. Not that it's going to be wrong, but if you go 1, 2, 3, see, I'm already going in that direction. All right, so for the front round kick, I'm in that direction. And that's just pretty basic, couple of little combinations. Very basic combinations again, front snap. And I've done these over and over the years, these combinations. I like to review them. At the end of the year, let's review. Front snap, all right? Front snap, chamber. This is how you practice in the mirror, front snap, chamber. Now as I chamber, notice how I pivoted my foot. I did a front snap, and I'm holding the chair so that when you're at home, you're not falling over, you're feeling comfortable, and then you work without the chair. Hold the chair very lightly, but that's for balance. Chamber, side thrust, right? So you gave him a front snap, side thrust. And I'm keeping everything midsection so you don't get overwhelmed, saying, I can't kick that high. You don't have to kick that high. Keep it midsection, low section, it doesn't matter. And as you train and you keep training, you're going to kick high, all right? And this way, notice when you start, and a lot of people are going to want to go bend over, and it's even hard to bend over and then throw a kick. Try to stay as straight as possible. And I know you're not stretched here, and maybe your hips aren't stretched to a point where you're going to feel like doing that, or it feels comfortable, but as far as you can. Stand up as straight as far as you can. So 1, see, I'm trying to stay up like this and get my body used to that. For balance, all right? For balance, to help me stretch by staying up straight like that, and for my next move. Because when I'm down like this, my next move, you know what I'm saying? If I'm down, way down like that, I got to get up, I'm off balance. It takes me time to get up. But if I throw the kick like this, I'm ready. And notice as I kick, chamber, and down. Chamber, kick, chamber, down. Chamber, kick, chamber, down. All right? Front snap, chamber, kick, chamber again. Spin a little with the, all right? Spin on that balancing foot. All right? Just pivot. All right? I say spin, pivot. All right? Pivot and throw the kick. Those are basic combinations. And they're individual moves, just adding another one on. All right? So you could have front snap, side thrust, okay? Think of any other kick you'd like. Front snap, side thrust, hook kick, front round kick, keeping your leg up. And sometimes that's a nice exercise. It gives you a lot of strength in your legs. You know, you keep front snap, side thrust, hook kick, front round kick. All right? Practice those in that kind of manner. When you do an individual, they'll be strong, because now it's only one shot. Okay? So that's having some fun with basic technique. And I really only show basic technique on this show so that you can train with me at home. And then if you get enough of my basic technique, you add more combinations. That's where you advance, by adding your combinations. And the little things that I'll point out each week. And you'll say, he says that every week. Yes, I will say that, and I say it at every class that I teach. And it's been said to me at every class I teach by my grandmaster. Chamber, hip jog, all right, stay loose, all these little things. As I said, one of the most important things you could do every day for your life is stretch, just a little. And if you tell me I don't have time, I'm not saying you're lazy this time. All you have to do is sit in a chair like this, all right? Now you're watching TV on your sofa or whatever you're going to watch TV. You're sitting watching TV and they're like this for hours and hours. You could be doing a nice light stretch. Your whole body, a stretch, all right? Which is going to get the juices flowing, the blood flowing. It's going to keep you so healthy, keep you younger, all right? If not, everything's going to want to stop, including your heart, all right, which is your muscle, a big muscle, your major muscle in your body. If you don't work that heart on a daily basis, that heart's just going to get weaker and weaker and weaker. It's going to stop. You say, well, if I do too much when I'm older, I'll have a heart attack. No, it's the opposite. If you don't do too much when you're older, you'll have a heart attack. Complete opposite. Never mind, oh, I have arthritis. I have arthritis too. You can't train for 50 years in Taekwondo and play all the sports I've played and not have some arthritis in my knees, my arms, my shoulders. And I go to a chiropractor. I do all my stretches just so that I'm constantly loose. My bones are loose. And every doctor that you would talk to about arthritis and do any research, you have to keep moving. Do not stop. That's the worst thing. The arthritis wants you to stop because now it's just going to bind you together. You keep moving, you're lubricating. Every time you move, it's like you took some oil, and oiled yourself like the Tin Man, all right? You're sitting at home watching. So let's pretend we're watching TV. You're sitting at home watching TV. I don't have time to stretch. Well, let's stretch now. You're watching TV. Watch your favorite show. You can do both, all right? Just take your leg, all right? This is very easy. Look at it. That's almost comfortable, all right? Now, as far as you can without, and don't go say, well, he told me to stretch. Really, don't stretch hard where you're going to have pain. Major pain, you feel pain coming, stop or lighten up. So go where it's maybe a little uncomfortable and you can feel a stretch, all right? Now, I can feel a stretch in my hip right here, right? Like I can go down, but we're going to make this easy today. Look at it. Now, you're going to feel the stretch here. Just push a little here. You're going to feel the whole hamstring, your hips stretching. And you do this, I don't know, a couple of minutes. That's not much. Take the other leg, all right? Pull it up as much as you want, all right? Go easy. Now just press. It'll go down, all right? The first couple of days you do this, it's going to be tight. But as the weeks go by and you say, oh, time for me to do this exercise, it's going to flop even more, and it's going to be nice and loose. You're stretching so much of your legs, even your joints. You want those joints moving. And by you moving those joints and making sure, even though they hurt, I have arthritis, I've had meniscus problems here and there, I'm going every day. And I do any kind of therapy I can for my body to keep it going, all right? I'm pretty obsessive compulsive. My wife will tell you that. In anything I try to do. As I do it, and then I've got attention deficit disorder, so I'm all over the place. But I'll try to do it all let's just keep doing something. People will say, oh, I don't have time. I don't have time to do any stretching. I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to do that. But they'll sit and clean their car and wax their car once a week for 2 or 3 hours. They'll make sure that their yard is so pristine and so beautiful and spend hours and hours. So they're making these inanimate objects um, beautiful, but they're not helping themselves. All right, they're not trying to get themselves. Now, I'm not saying by you not working in the yard, that's good. You keep working in that yard. That you're moving. You're waxing the car. That's good. But if you want these things to be so beautiful, work on your and run and look great. Work it on yourself. Do it on yourself, and find the time. All right. All right. We're still watching TV. You get a chair like this. All right. Just pick up your leg. Go do this. Right? And as you're doing this, you're going to feel your whole back want to stretch. Every once in a while, you might get a little crack. I love it. I try to crack my back every day. And like I say, I go to a chiropractor. Just go like this. Go like this. Pull it back. Now you're stretching. Look at, and you're still watching your favorite TV. Happy Days, episode 45, you know? Look at, I'm pushing back. I'm pulling back. Yeah. So I'm doing a whole leg exercise here, a whole stretching exercise, and I'm watching TV. You're sitting like this, all right? All right? Just pick up your legs and bring them down. Pick up your legs. You want to hold on, bring them down. Pick up. It's not a great exercise, but you're stretching the back, and you're working some muscles, all right? Look at it. You do a couple of sets of that. As you do these, and if you did a whole routine, you make up the routine. I'm just throwing stuff together now in my head because I'm sitting down. I know what I have to do. When you start it, if you've never done it and you start it, the next day you might be sore. That's fine. That's good. That means you stretched a little, all right, or you worked out a little. Do it again the next day. All you're doing is stretching. Over the couple of days or week, you're not going to get sore anymore. You won't get sore. You're going to feel good. You're going to get addicted on it. All right? So those are easy exercises. You're watching TV. Try to keep your legs straight. If you can't, bend it a little and then straighten it. Bend it a little, straighten. And just pull your toes back and back. Or just touch your toes. Or go as far as you can. If you can't touch your toes, I'll pull back. Pull your toes towards you. You're going to feel this stretch. And I mean, you're going to feel it. If you can pull those toes back, you're going to go, wow. A lot of people can't. If they never stretched, they can't even move. Go as far as you can. But as you're doing it, pull the toes back. You're stretching your back. You're stretching your arms. You're stretching your legs. You're actually stretching all your foot muscles. Whole workout, and you're not even doing anything. You're still watching your favorite show. Down this way. I can't reach. You don't have to reach. As far as you can, pull your toes back. You're going to feel all this. The blood's flowing. The juices are flowing. The muscles are, and you can start off light. Don't go fast on anything. Start off light and let the muscles work like taffy. All right. You don't want to go fast. You don't want to snap. You want to go and just flow. Everything's a flow. All right. That's a couple there. I love grabbing the back of my chair. I love it so much, and I know a lot of people do too. And just keep my whole body nice and relaxed, and not to a point where I'm going to hurt myself, but like this. And try to get that lower back real loose. You do this every day, your lower back's going to, instead of being tight, it's going to be like this. It's going to loosen up. That's how chiropractic doctors work on your body. They start with a tight body, and they make you go as much as you can, then all of a sudden, your back vertebra starts doing this, like it's supposed to, like when you were younger. Gravity, age, injuries, any kind of sickness, it brings your body tight and brings it down. And as you're doing all this, great, make sure you hydrate. You don't hydrate, you're committing suicide. And I mean with water, maybe really good juices, teas or something. Hydrate. Do your homework on hydrating. Do your homework on stretching. And with YouTube, look at, oh, that feels good. With YouTube, there's more than a million different YouTube stations or videos on what we're doing right here. I hope you enjoy this show. This show is seen on drakeittv.org. It's also on YouTube. You can see this on YouTube. Taekwondo Grandmaster Bob Lemire. You'll also see my podcast. You many shows. All right. You'll enjoy these shows. Everything is basic. So I even just talked to a friend yesterday. He wants his 3-year-old or 6-year-old or whatever to train with me, or train at Taekwondo. I said, that's kind of young right now. Watch my show. Let him work out at home for about a year or two. Get the basics, because it's all basic. All right. Very last stretch. I got 1 minute left. Your neck. All right. If you move your neck every morning, all right, like this, and do more than 1 or 2. Do exercises like when you're going to stretch. Have your ear pointing to your ear just going to point up to the ceiling. Right? Point your ear up to the ceiling. All right, and stretch. Do the other side. Point your ear up to the ceiling like you, and you're going to feel. You're going to feel the neck stretching. All right, twist as far as you can, and you're going to hear the neck kind of cracking inside. Keep going. Up and down. How basic is that? You're watching TV. Up and down. All right, and what happens is you're stretching those muscles. It's like lubricating your neck with an oil, like a tin can, man. And you're going to be so happy over a couple of days, even. Just a couple of days, you're going to feel a difference. Again, when you start any exercises like this and go very easy, you're going to be sore probably the next day because your muscles didn't do it. If you're sore and you're going easy, that means your muscles have atrophy in them. They need to be worked. Well, I'm 50 years old. 50 years old, you're a kid, all right? Jack LaLanne was 90, and he wanted to swim across the English Channel. At 90 years old, and his wife wouldn't let him. And God rest his soul, one of the greatest. But if you can have the mind frame at 90 years old, you're young. And if you don't feel young, start getting yourself to feel young, because it's only going to get worse. Try to get yourself working. There's so many things on YouTube and the media today that are good for you. All right? And they're going to show you the exact way, easy. Thank you very much for watching the show. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Till next time, have fun and train hard.